All right, welcome to the show. We are going to be talking with Tony Miello, who has a Kickstarter going live tomorrow. When you hopefully see this, because as you'll find out more detail about it. But he is with, as you know, Dirk Manning from Source Point Press is sending people our over to Comic Watch to help promote the books, and so this is the first of many, hopefully, and hopefully it'll go well, and by then I'll learn to talk. So let's bring in our guest and find out about himself and his book. How's it going, Tony?
Hey, folks. Hey, Chad. How you doing?
Oh, it's one of those days. But anyway, before we start talking about the Kickstarter and your book, tell us a little bit about yourself as a creator and as a comic book reader. Do you remember, the first book you read, or maybe the one that made you want to?
Yeah, I started reading comics back in the early 70s, mid 70s, I guess. My grandfather bought me my first Spider-Man comic off a newsstand at a local diner, and I was hooked. I was a Spider-Man fan forever after that. It was an early Spider-Man. I can't remember the number, but I remember the cover had Spider-Man holding the Green Goblin in a headlock. I know the book sells for a few $100 now, and I wish I still had it. But yeah, I've been a comic book fan ever since, and I've been working in independent comics since the mid '90s. I started as an inker with a small publisher out on Long Island, New York, called Innovision Comics, and I was working on a comic called Fates 5, and after that, I started, just drawing, working on little projects here and there, on just about anything I could find, on for anybody who would hire me or wanted to work with me, until I started working on my own creator-owned stuff. About 20 years ago, I started doing a comic strip called Gapple the Clown, and although I took a hiatus, it's been around for 20 years. There are 2 collected volumes out. I'm working on a third now. I do it monthly. I publish a comic every month on Patreon. I do a weekly all ages strip also on the same Patreon called Noisy Neighbors. And I started Rocketing Studios with my friend Bill Pekowski and John Marroquin. We've done books called Portraits of Poe and Art Tales from the Curio Shop. And then me and John Marroquin started Drawing Blood Comics, and Killer Cosplay is our first book together.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about Killer Cosplay. You, as someone who probably mentions, I assume you see a lot of cosplay. Is that what inspired it?
Yeah. We would do conventions all over, and we usually would set up next to each other, and we're big horror movie fans, me and John, and we talk horror movies all day long. And we would talk about how a horror movie never took place at a Comic-Con. And one day, we were talking about it, and how the cosplayers would be perfect targets because a killer could dress up in costume and you'd never know it. You wouldn't be able to see who it was or what his motives were, and he could move around the convention freely. And it spawned the whole idea, and we pretty much outlined the whole comic while we were sitting behind our table at a convention one Saturday afternoon.
Awesome. So tell us a little more details about who are the main characters. What is the main other than somebody at a convention in cosplay? I'm guessing killing people. What is the main?
in the world of cosplay, books are driving force in entertainment, like now. Although indie comics are that driving force, and the main character is a guy named Lucas, and he has this new hit comic called Event, which is getting all this buzz, and everybody's all excited about. And the lead character is a girl they call Gwen the Mighty, and she's supposed to be this big popular character, and he's coming back to his hometown to promote this new book and possibly have this giant announcement he's going to be making for the future of the franchise. And when he gets to the convention, a character from an old creative partners of his is going around killing people dressed as his character.
Okay. so
So in this world there are these two independent comics. One's called Curse of the Hangman, which is a horror comic. One's called Extinction Event, which is a sci-fi comic. And those comics are like the big popular properties that everybody's excited about. And so essentially the character from Curse of the Hangman is killing the character from Extinction Event.
Okay. So is this a limited, a finite story, or is there, is it something that a universe that you can play in,
Well, we're trying to create like our own horror universe. So we are planning more killer cosplay stories. We just outlined the second volume. I'm scripting it right now. So we do plan, every horror movie always gets a sequel. So we are planning a sequel. But within the world of killer cosplay, the comics, Extinction Event and Curse of the Hangman, we like the concepts that we had come up with for those books. So we've produced those books also. And with the Kickstarter, you'll be able to get digital copies of those comics as stretch goals.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the Kickstarter itself now. Is this your first time doing a Kickstarter? Have you done a Kickstarter before?
This is actually my second Kickstarter. We ran a Kickstarter for Odd Tales for the Curio Shop, which was an anthology horror book we had done about 6 years ago, I believe, and that was successful. And but it was so long ago that putting this together was kind of like my first time doing a Kickstarter again, because I kind of had to figure out how to maneuver the website. The website had changed in 6 years, so I had to learn how they do everything. But luckily it was pretty easy even for an old man like me. But I was able to learn, take everything I learned the first time around, and I believe I've built a much better Kickstarter. I also I sought information from Dirk Manning at Source Point Press, who gave me a lot of good advice to build this to a point where I'm confident it's going to be successful.
So, what are you planning on offering to potential backers as to support your campaign?
Well, some of the tiers we have are, the day one, if you pledge on the first day, we'll have a tier where you can get a Killer Cosplay lanyard, like you would get, when you go to a convention, they give you lanyards. So we're going to have a special Drawing Blood Comics Killer Cosplay lanyard that you can get that would, if you wear it to any event that we're at, it'll entitle you to a discount on comic sales, commissions, anything that we have to sell at those events. We're also going to be offering a hardcover exclusive that you'll only be able to get through the Kickstarter. We're going to have a convention exclusive cover, which you'll be able to get at the Kickstarter, but otherwise it won't be available in retail stores. You'll only be able to get that from us at live events. We'll also have exclusive T-shirt that'll only be available at the Kickstarter. Some prints. We'll be offering commissions as add-ons. Some of the stretch goals will include, signatures and embossed books, and it's just we're trying to make it fun, and we're trying not to do anything that's going to take away from the comic, because we want the comic to be the focus.
Right. Oh, cool. So tell us a little bit about how you came to be part of the Source Point Press family.
Well, some time ago, we had talked to Source Point about them publishing our books, and we were in the process of working that out, and then COVID hit and kind of shut everything down. We didn't produce anything during COVID, and we kind of Rocketing Studios kind of took a backslide during that time, which was very unfortunate for us. But in the recent years, me and John Marquin, we have recentered our focus, and we really want to concentrate on horror comics, and we have a lot of ideas for different stories that we want to work on. There's a lot of different things we've been putting time into that hopefully will bear fruit. But when we spoke to Dirk after he took over Source Point, and we pitched him what we were doing, he liked the concept, and he was one of the first people that we showed it to when we completed it, and he was really excited about it, which made us even more excited about it. And when he offered to publish it, we were really happy. We felt that was a big show of support, him wanting to put the Source Point logo on our book and release it to across the country. And we're super excited. We think it couldn't be in better hands, and especially with the history Source Point has and the quality of the books that they're releasing now. We're really, really excited that Source Point decided to publish this book.
Cool. And Dirk is a great guy, and he's he loves the comic medium and all that, and I think he's in a really good spot, and is finding some top talent to help him rebuild Source Point. So what is it about the horror genre that appeals to you, and do you have any favorite movies or books that kind of inspire you in your journey as a horror fan?
I like feeling uneasy, when movies in general should invoke some sort of emotion or reaction. I mean, that's true of all art. Art should bring some emotion out of you, whether you're looking at a painting or reading a book or watching a film. You want to feel something, and I like when a good horror movie, when it builds suspense and it makes you uneasy and uncomfortable. I like that it can do that. I like being able to do that with storytelling. Some of my favorite horror movies are. My all-time favorite horror movie is John Carpenter's Halloween, the original. I absolutely love that. But another horror movie I like, and for a completely different reason, is The Audition, which is a Japanese film. I don't know if you've seen it, but the movie it's a slow build, but the last 15 minutes of that film make you so uncomfortable that it's worth sitting through the wait. But you get that reaction that I'm looking for. So I was just watching this zombie movie. I can't even remember the name of it because the pacing was kind of weird. It didn't really stick with me, but they had genuine moments in it where they were able to build the tension. Unfortunately, some bad cinematography kind of takes you out of it, but just the tension. I like when they can build tension and make you feel uneasy. Oh, another great movie was Quiet Place. Do you ever see Quiet Place? When you're sitting and
Yes.
you're watching that movie, I mean, I saw it in theaters, and you're with a theater full of people, and you're so engrossed in the movie that everybody's afraid to make a sound. That's what a movie should do. It should suck you in and make you feel like you're part of what's going on. And that's good storytelling, and it's fun that way. And that's when I do a book, I want the reader to have fun. I want them to enjoy reading the book as much as I enjoyed writing it and drawing it. It's you're coming into that world, and you should at me as a creator, I should enjoy what I'm making, and I'm hoping that the audience enjoys reading it just as much as I enjoyed bringing it to life.
Are there any challenges that you feel that you face when you're bringing, because the horror elements to the comic page? Because it's a different experience watching something on TV, on a movie screen or something, and then or turning a page. Is there any tricks that you've learned, or
it's it's a lot different because when I write, I visual everything as moving images. I'm sure a lot of people do that, and so my writing is me trying to capture the images as I see them playing out in my head. I think one of the things that, or maybe one of the tricks, is trying to hit the proper beats of motion. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
because when you're looking at a comic page, you can't see movement, but you need the reader to feel like they are. So that's why it's always important to get to work with artists. When you're a writer, you work with an artist that understands the the concept or the idea, whatever you're trying to convey with your script. They have to be on this literally on the same page as you, to kind of convey the message you're trying to put across.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you feel that you've grown as a creator from your first book to this one?
I've been working on comics for over 30 years now, and I think I think I've grown and regressed all at the same time. I think in some ways I was a better artist when I was younger because I took more chances. Where now I become more apprehensive when I'm drawing, because I'm very aware of my limitations, and
Mm-hmm.
I think on a subconscious level, I think I hinder myself when I'm drawing because I know there are certain things that I don't do very well, and I try to avoid them, which I shouldn't. I should try to do them more to overcome them. But I think my drawing style has improved. I think my figure. I'm primarily a cartoonist, and I think my figures are more animated now
Mm-hmm.
than they were. As a writer, I just have so much more experience now than I did when I was younger, and it being able to see any number of subjects from multiple points of view always helps when you're writing. because it allows you to be able to give different voices to different characters. You need to be able to look at things from different viewpoints and put yourself in other people's shoes. And I think the more life experience you have, I think it makes it easier to do that. I also read a lot more. Or I should read a lot more. I used to read a lot more when I was younger. Now I just don't read it because I don't have time. But I think reading is very important for writers, because it's like exercising your imagination. I can't discount enough, or I can't emphasize enough how reading helps you grow your imagination.
Right. So, having said that, who are the writers or other creators that inspire and challenge you?
I'm a big Ray Bradbury fan. Something Wicked This Way Comes is one of my all-time favorite books. I've probably read it 4 times. And just recently, Josh Malaman's book, Incidents Around the House, I read that book and was so blown away. It has become one of my new favorites. And I think if anybody can achieve half of what he achieved with that novel, they'll be wildly successful, because it was creepy and unsettling, and it hit all the notes that you want horror to hit. And I read that book before I started writing Killer Cosplay, and it just was a source of inspiration for just keeping in my head what horror is.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we kind of start to wrap up here, is there anything else you wanted to make sure that people knew about the campaign?
This is I think going to be a really fun book for anybody who loves horror, specifically the slasher genre. If you pledge to this campaign, you can be able to get the book a couple of months before it hits stores. There's going to be some cool add-ons available. We have some fun stuff planned for the stretch goals, and I'm looking forward to getting this book into everybody's hands, and I'm hoping that people get as excited to read this as I am to get it to them.
And finally, would you like to give one final pitch of the book to anyone watching, and where they can find more from you if you're online?
Sure. You can find me on Facebook, The Art of Tony Miello. I'm on Instagram, Tony_Miello. You can find John Marroquin on Instagram, John Boy's Art. He's also on Facebook, John Marroquin on Facebook. Follow Drawing Blood Comics on Facebook and Rocketing Studios. Go to killercosplay.com, and there'll be a link there. As a matter of fact, the only thing there is a link to the Kickstarter. So you can head over there and follow the Kickstarter and hopefully support it. And look for more stuff coming soon.
Sounds great. And is it a 30-day campaign, a shorter one, or?
Yeah, no, it's a 30-day campaign. It's going to wrap up in, I think, the 3rd week of April.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to chat with us about the book. Best of luck on the campaign as you get ready to kick it off, and we will be following it and giving weekly updates over at Comic Watch. Every Saturday we do a crowdfunding roundup with the corner, and this will be there. And yeah, best of luck. And whenever you have anything else new, we would definitely be glad to have you back and hear about
Awesome.
that.
I'd be more than happy to come back. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this.
All right. Well, again, thanks for your time, and we'll be in touch.